Ah, it is. Yay. Okay. Usually when I do a call, I automatically set that. So sorry about that. You guys, we have Allie Schneider, 50 Club NMD from Kansas. She is about to just shine on all of us. So let me spotlight you and let you get started.
All right. Thanks. Hello, everyone. I see a lot of faces I know and a lot that I don't. So like Michelle said, I'm Allie Schneider, and I live in Lawrence, Kansas with my husband, who is the head women's basketball coach at KU. We have 2 boys. I'm going to share just a little bit of my story, in my talk. But let me just start by saying, wherever you're at in this, what I am going to share with you is for you. And this has been kind of a shift for me. I used to be a master messenger, and I'm somebody who is very limited on time, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that as well. But I would find just chunks in a day, like 10 minutes. I'm not talking like 10-minute chunks, not like hours, but I'd have like 10 minutes, and I could sit down and send a bunch of messages. And I was not good at follow-up, okay? And so I'm telling you guys this now, no matter where you're at. If you are brand new, now's the time to learn to absolutely love follow-up. I have been, I've been part of the Juice Plus company for about 9 years, but I've truly only been building my business. It's my only regret in this is that I've only been building my business for about 4.5 to 5 years. And so I only wish I had started sooner. So I didn't, though. I sat on it for a while. But my point is I've been in this for a while, and this has just over the past year really become a big focus of mine. And it is awesome. And I used to, I never got excited to follow up with people. And now I truly do love it. It's amazing. It's changing my business. It's changing the way our team, really builds relationships and focuses. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. And, I just want you to know that it really is, wherever you're at in the business, I think that it's the time to learn this. So can you see that? I'm going to share my screen here with you. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about, obviously, falling in love with follow-up tonight. And before I really get into it, I want you to remember your story. Why are you on this call tonight? Why are you in the business? Why did you start taking the products? Did somebody have to follow up with you to get you to that point? Most likely. There are not very many people who get it right away. Your first exposure and you're all in. Even like for me, maybe, when I was part of the business for, about 4 years, but my sponsor still had to keep following up with me, even though I had already joined her team, to see if I was ready to do something with this. So so I'm so thankful for that. So I want you to think about your story first and always remember your story. Okay. Who cared enough about you to follow up with you? How many times did it take, or did you get it right away? And, if you really think back, most people did not get it right away. Some of us even said no. I've had some of the most hardcore no's ever that have turned around. So think about how you reacted your first time. Did you just ignore the messages? Whatever. Okay. Remember your story. Here's a little bit of mine. Joy Kelly, the lady on the far right, is my sponsor. Some of you probably know her. She's a 100 Club NMD from Santa Barbara, California. Joy called me for 4 months with me never picking up the phone or talking to her, and she kept calling at least 2 or 3 times a week for 4 months. I have no idea why. I would not have stuck with me. But you guys, my life is so different today because of it. And I can't even tell you how grateful I am that she followed up with me for that long, because I don't know what my life would look like today without this company and without this culture and without these amazing people. And I have no idea where I would be or what my life would look like. And I don't even want to think about it. So I am so grateful that she followed up with me. And then and actually a lot of you know Dr. Mitra Ray, I'm sure. Mitra is Joy's sponsor. And Mitra had to follow up with Joy for 9 months before Joy got on board with this. So when you think about that and you think about how big Joy's business is, there are thousands of lives that wouldn't have been changed, thousands of people who wouldn't have been helped if Mitra hadn't followed up with Joy. And then if Joy hadn't followed up with me. And then the girl in the middle there is my newest national marketing director on my team, AJ Majors. She's my best friend. I do life with her every day. And, you know, she told me no several times over. And so, you know, her life, and she would sit here and tell you this, her life is so much better today because of this and because she finally said yes. And if I had just, you know, let her go. So I want you to think about that for you, where you're at, you know, your upline, who had to follow up with them, and just be grateful for everybody who has ever followed up with anybody in your upline to get you here today, because that's why you're here, because somebody followed up. So remember that. Now I want you to think about, and I can't even see you all since I'm sharing my screen now, but you can raise your hands if you want. How many of you have ever been one and done with somebody? And by that, I mean you sent them one message, they didn't respond, or you had one conversation with them and they were hesitant or whatever, and so you just dropped it. You never messaged them back. You know, you didn't say anything to them again. How many of you have done that? I know you all have. You may have just forgotten. That was me. I did it so many times that I forgot who I messaged, because I told you I was the master messenger, right? We've all done it. And I am coming back around. I told you this has been a shift for me, like over the past year, of how awful that is to do to people. And I am coaching my team, and I promise you I will never one and done anybody anymore, because I don't like what it was. I think it's really telling them. I'm going to get to that in a second, but I want you to think about this, especially if you're new. If you've been in this a while, you probably get this by now. But if you're new, you know, I've heard it takes an average of 6, 7, maybe 8 exposures for people to maybe even just to take a look at what we're doing or what we've got, you know, or to really listen to what you have to say. So if you're new, you need to feel encouragement in that, in that if you've given somebody 1 or 2 invites, or you've sent them a couple messages and they're not interested, it's just not their time quite yet. But make sure you have to be following up with them, because it will eventually be their time. It might be on the 6th or the 7th or the 8th exposure. And you want to make sure, if you gave them the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd exposures, that you also give them those exposures when they're ready for it. Because if not, if somebody else catches them at the right time, or heaven forbid, if it's a different, you know, it's a different product that is not as good as what we've got, but it was just at the right time that they were ready for something, they were ready to hear about it then, you know, make sure. That's why follow-up is so important. You need to make sure you care enough about people that you're the one who reaches out to them, you know, when it really is their time. I don't know really truly, like, if it's actually 6, 7, 8 or what it is. It's, you know, that's about the average, but I do know that what we're doing, following up, is an ongoing process. We are always having to reach back, because very few people get it on the first time, and you have to understand that. So I want you to think about the people that you have been one and done with, because I know we've all done it. And as I was putting this together, you know, I was asking people, you know, why? Like, if you one and done somebody, why do you do that? For me, to be honest with you, it wasn't really any of these things that I'm going to share that most other people told me. It was truly that I just forgot that I messaged them. Like, I was so busy, and I would get into these, I would just message. And then I didn't have a system. I now have a system that I'll tell you about. But so I forget who I messaged, and they didn't respond, and I didn't respond. That was it for me. But this is what I think, and if you're new, you might feel this way, right? If you send somebody a message, they don't respond, and you just drop it, it's because you don't want them to think you're being pushy, right? Anybody ever felt like that? Or you don't want them to think that you're just trying to sell them something, so you're not going to message them again. Or you think they actually aren't interested, which is crazy, because we have fruits and vegetables in a capsule, so they're interested, they just don't know it yet. Or you maybe even got your feelings hurt. You know, if you have you ever sent somebody a message and they didn't respond, and now what does your brain go to right away? You're like, oh, I just ruined that relationship, now it's going to be awkward. Or you feel sorry for yourself because nobody's getting back to you. Guys, there's not any time for that, okay? No time for feeling sorry for ourselves, because there's a lot of people that need our help. So we have to always remember that if they didn't respond, there's probably a really good reason. But here's what it really says. So those are some of the things that we think, like, maybe that go through our minds of why we're not reaching back. But truly what I think that really says is that we don't care. enough about them. Like, that's the message it sends. And this is new to me. Like, this revelation that I've had about all these people that I wanted done, I feel horrible about it. Because what I was showing them is that, you know what, I'm just going through all my people and messaging them and, you know, seeing who will respond. And if I don't come, they might even be waiting for me to come back to them. They might be waiting to see if I really do care, or if I'm just messaging everybody in my contacts, because that's what it looks like. When you send one message and that's it, that's what it looks like. So that's the message that we do not want to send, right? The one and done is the worst message we can send, because that says that we don't really care. We're just messaging everybody. Okay, and as I go through this, I hope you're going to understand that a little bit better and be able to shift your mindset in that. So I'm going to give you 3 different scenarios of like real actual conversations that I've had with people, and how I follow up now, and how to understand that we're not being pushy, we're being professional. Okay, it's what we do. We are good at what we do, and part of the most important part of what we do is follow up, and how to do that professionally. So here's a situation, maybe you reached out to somebody, okay? I don't know if you sent them a video, whatever, asked them to check out a Freedom Revolution call, whatever it is, and you got no response, okay? That has happened to all of us, right? 2 hands up here. It's happened to all of us. No response. Oh my gosh, what do? Here's what you do. You give them the benefit of the doubt. You offer grace, and you understand that they have noise, okay? But given the benefit of the doubt, have you guys ever received a message when you were like cooking and you saw it, but then you forgot about it, and then like 2 months later you saw it again and you remembered, oh, you never responded? You know, we've all done it, okay? Whatever. Give them the benefit of the doubt that something's going on. It's not that they're ignoring you on purpose, okay? Offer grace. We're never getting our feelings hurt. We're not getting upset with anybody. And understand that they have noise. And what I mean by the noise in your life, it's not the actual like sound you're hearing, can be, but the noise, the distractions, the things, the craziness of life that we all have. Every single person has it at a different level and in a different situation. So I want you to think right now about your noise. Like, what is the noise that happens in your life every day that would make you maybe not respond to a message, or forget about a message? Heaven forbid we forgot that somebody messaged us, right? So here I'm going to tell you, like, these are just the big chunks of noise in my life every day. And I want you to think about yours. So I've got a husband. You guys heard that. Anybody have a spouse that makes noise in their life? So my husband's great. You know, he's really not like that loud at home, but he's not home very often. So the noise that comes with him is that he's the head women's basketball coach at the University of Kansas, and he's gone a lot. That means I'm a single parent a lot. It also means we have 15 college girls around a lot, and they bring a lot of real noise. But, you know, there's a lot of things that go along with that, okay? I'm also, like Michelle said, I am a homeschooling mom. So these 2 really are actual noise, a lot of it. Cash is 8 and Cole is 7, and we are homeschooling right now. And it's pretty crazy, a lot, all the time. We also have 2 dogs and a gecko and a snake, and they're just awesome, right? And then I coach and run a youth basketball program, and I have my awesome, just amazing, badass team. All of these things, these are like the big chunks of noise in my life that happen every single day. So everybody has it, and I want you to think about this. The next time you send a message and somebody doesn't respond to you, in your mind, just know that just say this, you know what, they've got 2 dogs, a gecko, and a snake. Because everybody has that on their own level, right? So the next time somebody doesn't respond to you, just think that, all right, they got their 2 dogs, gecko, and a snake, so I'm gonna follow back up with them because they probably forgot. So make it funny, right? It's okay. Everybody has it. Everybody has the noise happening in their lives, and we just have to understand that it's crazy. So they didn't respond to you, so you're understanding about the noise. You're going to reach back out, and this is something I would say. Hey, Amy, I know how crazy life is with the kids. I just want to make sure you saw my message, okay? Just, again, they probably forgot, right? Given the benefit of the doubt. I've been thinking about you ever since the conversation about Charlie's allergies, and would love to share this with you. Can we connect on Tuesday? Okay, something simple like that. But, just making sure they saw the message, just following up, making sure they know that you haven't forgotten about the conversation, that you really do care. So that's an actual message that I sent, and guess what? She didn't respond to me. So what am I going to do? Give her the benefit of the doubt, offer grace, understand that she has noise. And then if I send 2 messages and I get no response, then I'm always giving them an out on the third. Okay, and by giving them an out, I would say something like this. I'm going to reach back out and I'm going to say, hey, Amy, sorry we didn't get to connect on Tuesday. And this is, I say this all the time, you guys. Please don't hesitate to tell me no. Okay, that's really important. Please don't hesitate to tell me no. And you can read the rest of it. You know, if you don't think it's a good fit for your family, it's not going to hurt my feelings. This is all about you and your family. I'm just the messenger here. The biggest part is please don't hesitate to tell me no. Like, I just want to make sure you got the information. If it's not your time, totally cool. You know, make sure they know it's not going to change your relationship. It's not going to cause awkwardness. You're not going to be mad at them. You know, just give them an out, because that's going to get a response. And that's what you're looking for, is a response. Okay. You know, in my experience, I need to have somebody like chart this, and because it is crazy high, the percentage of people that will respond when I actually give them an out. Now, a lot of times it's just that, you know, oh, I'm just so busy, I'm sorry, I haven't had a chance to look at it, or, you know, no, it's not that, I'm interested, I just don't have time right now. That's what it usually is, right? Because they've got noise. That's all I ever hear, okay? So this is the response when I gave Amy the out. This is her response. Hey, girl, don't give up on me. Okay, you don't have to even read the rest, because it's just talking about the noise in her life that I already knew she had, and I understood that. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. That's why I kept following up with her. But hey, girl, don't give up on me. Okay, if I had quit, if I had sent that first message and then and she didn't respond, so I just let it go like I have in the past, then she wouldn't know that I actually care. You know, I wouldn't know that she was actually interested, because she is, and now they're taking Juice Plus now. But I wouldn't have known that, because I would have just dropped it, and I promise she wouldn't have come back to me, because, you know, I had just sent her one message and left it. So follow up. Let them know that you care about them. Okay, second scenario. You have had conversations. This happens, you guys. You have conversations. Somebody says, like, they're ready to get started, like right then. This is the situation I'm going to show you. I was on a Zoom call with a girl, and she was like, I'm signing up tonight, send me the link, but she was running out the door to basketball practice. And so I did. I sent her the link, you know, a little message, and then she just stopped responding. You know, give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, same thing. Offer a grace. Understand she has noise. I know this girl had noise. Her husband's a superintendent. She's a basketball coach. They've got 3 kids. I know they had noise. But then this is really important here. Do not ever make up your own stories, right? So what I, in the past, probably would have or could have done about this is thought, you know what? She talked to her husband. He talked her out of it. Or, you know, she went and looked something up, and now she's not interested anymore, or whatever, you know, because she was so ready, and then she just stopped responding. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure she knows I care about her. So, hey, Sarah, I'm just checking back in with you. And this is the other thing I say a lot. I'm really good at what I do, because I want them to know that I am being a professional. I'm not like pushing something. I am being a professional, because that's what I am in what I do. And that's what we all are. So I'm really good at what I do. And part of that is being good at follow up. So, you know, I haven't forgotten about our conversation. Okay. So whatever, you know, you can read the rest of that, but that's the main thing. I'm just checking back in with you. I want to make sure, you know, I haven't forgotten about our conversation. You know, let them know that you care. That's the main thing. That's what it shows, is that you care. Okay, so this was Sarah. Still, I got no response from her. She's the girl who was ready to go, right? Don't make up your own stories. You're going to reach back out, and you're going to give her the out, right? So here, this is a real message that I sent to her. Hey, friend, you're totally ghosting me. I mean, I'll call him out. You know, just make it funny. You know, you're totally ghosting me. And then I give her the out. It's absolutely cool if now is not the time for you to get started with Juice Plus. Seriously, don't worry about telling me no. Okay, and then, you know, I said something else about her family, but you give them the out. That's the main thing. Let them know that you just want to know where they're at. You know, that's what I end it with, is just let me know where you're thinking, what you're thinking. And then this is her response. Again, it's a very high percentage. She had ghosted me like 2 or 3 messages, and then I gave her the out, and this is what she said. You don't even have to read that all, but you just read the first sentence. You are a good friend, and I suck. And then she's just talking about the noise in her life after that, right? Because she's appreciative that I'm following up with her, and she appreciates that I'm showing that I actually care. Okay, so it's really, you know, really important. Number 3, the third thing, because I'm telling you guys, give them an out. You're thinking, you know, I'm asking them to tell me no. You will get some no's, but that's better than no response. Okay, I have a crazy like love-hate relationship with the no's. I love the yeses more, but I also love the no's, because what that does is immediately, if when someone tells me no, I'm excited because their guard is totally down. Okay, there's something about some people that they just have this like brain block that if they think in any way that they think you're trying to sell them something, they're not even going to listen. They're not going to open their minds to what you have to tell them. They're not going to listen to your stories. They're not. Okay, but if they have told you no, now their guard is down. Okay, now it's time for you to have a conversation with them. Now they're going to come back when they think it's their idea. But just first of all, congratulations on getting them to respond to you. That's what we're going for here. So you gave them the out, they told you no. You got that back. And then you have to remember that no never, ever means no. It just means not right now. Again, how many of us on here, including myself, said no the first time or the second time or the third time? I mean, you can ask probably every national marketing director how many people in their organization told them no first. Most of them, okay? So remember that. No never means no. No means not right now. Your response to their no, though, that's what's the key to help for you to be able to help them in the future, okay? So for me, if somebody messages me back and says, "It's just not the time right now, thank you," whatever, like that is awesome, you know, and I'll say that's great. I totally understand. And then I absolutely just flip the conversation to something else. Their kids, the trip they just took, work, whatever it is, but continue the conversation. Make sure they know that you care, that you were not actually caught up in the outcome, right? If you just say, okay, and then you never talk to them again, then they're going to think, you know, what's up with that person? You know, she's mad at me now because I told her no. Make sure they see that. That's when you can really build the relationship, you guys. I'm telling you, when their guard is down, when you're just talking about life, and then they will come back to you with tell me a little bit more about that now, when they think it's their idea, when it's their time, okay? But if you stop that relationship when they tell you no, then they're not going to come back to you. And if it ever is their time, they're probably going to somebody else. So you have to continue the relationship with people when they tell you no. It's so important. This shift. So this, I think, is the biggest thing. Like, we have to go from feeling like we're being pushy to understanding that it's what we do. We are absolutely just being professional. Okay. If you're not being professional, if you're not following up, you're not being professional, right? It's not being pushy at all. It's being a professional at what we do. We have to go from feeling like we're bothering people to understanding that we're showing them that we care about them. Okay, and we have to go from this thought process of being concerned about what other people think about us to really knowing that we're actually trying to figure out what's in it for them. Like, we're totally in it for them, and that's what our main focus is. We're not concerned about us or what they think about us. We're concerned about how we're going to help them, okay? So when you can get to the right side of this, you know, a lot of people, when they start, I think we start on the left side. We don't want to be pushy. We don't want to bother anybody, or what are people going to think of me? When you can get to the right side and understand that you're being a professional, you're showing them that you care, and you're really all about what's in it for them, hello, that's when it's amazing and you can change people's lives, okay? That's when you're not worried about follow-up anymore, because it's fun and you love it. You love helping people. So I'm going to just real quickly here, I know we don't have a lot of time left, but these two resources have been really big for me in this shift. TeamZ and this book, Get Over Your Damn Self. So TeamZ has allowed me to log my follow-ups so that I don't forget anymore. And it's amazing. I message people and I put in there when I want to follow up with them. 2 days later, I'm going to make sure, and it reminds me to follow up with them. And so that has been really, really big key for me in this, because like I told you before, I never felt like I was being pushy, but I did just forget. So now I've got that to help me with my crazy life. And then this book has been really big with just helping with verbiage and all that. So I recommend those two. You know, and then I just want to wrap this up by, you know, telling you guys, we just have to change the way we approach follow-up. I know, you know, a lot of times it's something that we kind of dread, or you know, you're scared maybe what they're going to say or whatever. You don't want what would they think, right? Just change the way you approach it. Okay, get to that right side. Understand that you're being a professional, you're caring, and you're trying to help them. And I'm going to come back to this. Remember your story, right? How you got started. And maybe you did get it right away. Maybe you're one of the crazy smart people. So awesome, you know, like you got it all going on. Kudos to you. But remember somebody else's story then, okay? Think about somebody else on your team or in your upline, and you probably wouldn't be here if somebody had not followed up with them, right? And then always remember the average number of exposures. Don't get discouraged if somebody doesn't respond or says no to you 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I was just at the Kansas City Summit this weekend, and I don't know how many of you guys know Shelly Mackey, but she's a 100 Club National Marketing Director. Her sponsor followed up with her for 8 years before Shelly said yes. And Shelly's a 100 Club National Marketing Director. Think of how many lives have been changed now because Susan Snodgrass was cared enough to follow up with Shelly for 8 years. It's crazy. So that was definitely more than 6, 7, or 8 exposures. But, think about the average, and then understanding that, follow up, it's the key to building relationships. And that is truly what kind of business we're in. We are in the relationship building business, whether it's, getting people to join your team, helping people get started with their products. That's the business we're in. And if you don't follow up with people, if you just go out and one and done everybody, you're never going to build relationships. You're never going to have that trust. People are going to come to you. They're going to be attracted to you. They're going to want to join you because of you, because of your energy, because of your heart, because of who you are, not necessarily what you have to say. So just show them that you care. Let's like make a pact to never one and done anybody again. And if you have one and done to people, then now's your time to go back. And I've gone back because Teamsy pulls up all these people, and I'll go to message them, and it's like 3 years ago I sent them one message, and now I'm humiliated about that, right? So, I'll just go back and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I totally dropped the ball on this. I want to make sure I still think about you. I haven't forgotten about you, and I really apologize that I never followed up. I've had like 3 people. Everybody responds, but I've had like 3 come back to me and say, "No worries, I was kind of flaky then too." And so it's funny, but you get a chance to go back to them, and you can just be honest with them about, hey, I know what I'm doing now. I'm much more professional at this, and I really want to help you still. And it's cool if they see that you're still in it after however long ago you messaged them. So don't be embarrassed by it, but just go back and follow up with them. So that's what I've got for you. I know we're out of time here. Michelle, do you have anything else that you wanted me to hit on?
Oh my goodness. No, it's such a fabulous, fabulous shift for us all to hear. And, I know, just like you said, as you're presenting this, we can all relate to the one and dones and all of that. But, we've got 2 dogs, a gecko, and a snake now, and we can all carry that with us and remember what this is about, and that people do have noise, and we're professionals. And if we're really caring about other people, then, follow up is the way to show them that. And I told you guys, this is amazing, right? I see all the thanks and all the comments coming in here. Allie, thank you so much, so much, and all of you for getting on. I'm going to stop the recording.